Hey guys, how you doing? It's KJ here. We're back with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at early game resources. Where should you be putting your resources early game to maximize your progression? So without any further ado, let's jump straight in. First we're going to look at is energy, which of course early game will be being put into campaign farming. Now it doesn't matter whether you're on normal, hard, or whether you are able to farm brutal. I am on my free to play is currently 3 days in, and that is farming hard campaign. But all you do is you farm the highest level you can. So if you can farm hard Durham Forest stage 3 with one champion, then that is where you will farm. If you have moved past that and are able to actually progress all the way up to 12-3 hard, that is the best stage of experience per energy spent within the game. So the fastest way to level your champions is always going to be 12-3 because that gives you the best balance of energy spent to experience gained and silver gained. Hey, so production Carl here. I actually meant to say it is 12-3 brutal is the best balance of energy, XP and silver farm in the game. But if you can only farm on normal or hard, 12-3 is the preferred stage of each difficulty. Next, we have gems. Now, gems are something I see highly contested either on Discord or in Reddit. But the way to spend your gems early game are save your first 800 gems and buy your starter champions masteries. When I started this account, when I started my free-to-play account, the first thing I did was saved 800 gems, and I did exactly the same thing on both accounts. I bought Kale's masteries. Bought them straight outright, 800 gems. Then what I did once I'd done that is I saved another 800 gems and bought a second set of masteries. Now, it's going to take you a while to save up the second 800 gems, but it also likely will take you a while to find another champion whose masteries you want to buy outright. Once you've done that and you've bought 2 sets of masteries, it at that point becomes easier to farm masteries than to buy masteries. It's cheaper in gems to farm masteries than it is to buy them. So once you've done 2 champions, 4 masteries, we're going to come over to the mine. We're going to get this leveled up to level 3. It costs 500 gems per level, and I think someone worked it out. It takes something like 5 or 6 months for it to fully pay back the gems you've invested. But after that, I am now in positive equity of gems from this mine because I've played for long enough that it's paid me back the gems and more. Now, another way you can go is a lot of people like to buy all of the open slots in the market. That is a good use of gems, but I would recommend that possibly after getting your level 1 gem mine, so it can be feeding you some gems while you are working through these. It's not gems for all of them. Some of them are silver, so that's not quite so bad. But another thing I see people doing all the time, and I have done it, as you can see, so I'm speaking from experience here. Do not do what I've done. Do not upgrade these slots. Unlock them, but don't upgrade them. It is a waste of gems completely to upgrade these. You are much better off saving your gems for energy refills, arena refills, tag team arena refills. Use them on resources within the game for events and tournaments rather than using them to upgrade champion training in the Guardian Ring. And now we're going to jump over to the tavern. We have brews, barrels, chickens, and books. Now, brews are an easy one. Brews you can use as and when you need to. So if you're stuck on an Arbiter challenge to upgrade a champion to level 50, for instance, and they're at level 42, and you have 20 brews stacked up, throwing 20 brews into that champion, not the end of the world. Leveling 1-star champions in campaign is just a waste of energy resources. So you can either use your 1-star champions as XP themselves and feed all of them into a champion who needs levels. Go with Basher for this one. So I can do this, but that is a very bad return on silver investment. You're much better off 1 brew, 3 champions, and take them straight up to a max 1 star, up to 2, and there you go. 2-star chicken created. Chickens, once again, are exactly the same thing. I tend to just stockpile mine until there is a champion training event going on or a CVC going on. But early game, you can just use them as you get them. And then finally, we have books. Now, books are a scarce resource, particularly legendary books. Epics are still quite hard to come across, but as you progress through the game, getting epic books becomes slightly easier. Rare books, I recently used all of mine just to see how far I could push in CVC using only my rare books. And legendary books, really, they become quite hard to unlock unless you are pushing to get the reward right at the end of an event or a tournament, or you are hitting Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss every day. But I see a lot of people say, I can't build out XYZ epic champion because I don't have enough epic books. And the same with legendaries. And if we go through, bad example, straight away. So your Carl, he has books in to get his cooldowns done. Then I stopped. Coronar hasn't been booked. This is one I use. Drex doesn't need books. For what you use him for, Drexar doesn't need books. So you need to be looking at whether a champion needs books at all, or whether they just need 1 skill booking down. So, great example of this is Coldheart. Now, fully booking a Coldheart, because she's a rare, at the point I'm at, it's not the end of the world. But if all you want to do is min-max your resources, just feed 1 book at a time into her A3 until you get the cooldown done. Then you can stop booking a Coldheart. Make sure you are looking to see whether a champion needs fully booking, whether they can be used with just 1 skill booked, or whether they don't need books at all. There are some champions you can use without books. It varies champion to champion, and if you want a list of champions I recommend you using without books, let me know in the comments and I can make that video. Right, that is how I suggest early game players spend their resources. If you think I've missed anything out, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, happy raiding.